everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She is a nail artist, a nail educator. Please welcome Miss Tahra Clarke. Hello, Tyra. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm doing very well.
Good.
I wanted to go ahead and talk about your start. So, what was your upbringing like, and how did you get into the beauty industry?
Well, I am from Jamaica. I'm Jamaican born. I migrated to the States when I was about 9. I actually ventured into doing nails when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and I started doing it just doing big toes only, though. I didn't actually start doing nails until my college years. So I actually began just practicing those old school 90s line designs
Mhm.
on the big toes with the different striper brushes. And that's really
Right.
how my start began in the beauty industry as
Mhm.
a kid. And that's kind of a little bit about, how coming up, growing up, you find kind of certain interests and hobbies. That
Mhm.
was really one of the things that I did that really kind of helped to bring me to this point today.
Mhm. Mhm. That's really cool. Now, in terms of, considering that you said you're from Jamaica, was there really a big nail scene in Jamaica? Like, can you describe that nail scene or?
No, I actually like growing up. I didn't get my nails done as a kid. I didn't really. That wasn't even like a thing. Like I don't even recall. Even as we're sitting here thinking, talking about it.
Mhm.
Funny enough, I recall my mom never getting her nails done like back home. Like it wasn't like a thing that people talk. It wasn't like a big deal. Like, oh, I'm gonna go
Right.
get my nails done. Like here, where it's like those. Well, I mean, nowadays it's a big thing for self care, and
Mhm.
of course, now with the big thing with nail art, and becoming a part of like a sense of style, really, personal
Right.
style, people creating kind of that look and, what they want their nails to bring to that, their style and who they are. I
Mhm.
think back then when I was a kid, nails were more of that professional attire, right? Either
Mhm.
you were just French or nude or something really simple.
Mhm.
So nails didn't really play much of a role in my upbringing or,
Mhm.
the lifestyle that I knew and grew up to know.
Right.
So it was definitely kind of a unique experience a
Right.
little bit, being able to like, oh, I'm getting into nails. And again, it wasn't really the art of doing nails per se, as
Mhm.
much as it was the design and the art side of it in that retrospect.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, how could you describe the nail scene in Atlanta?
Ooh, this nail scene is a whole nother thing here. These people are serious about their nails. It is
Mhm.
I think I have been able to really hone in on my specific client because of the kind of nails and the style of nails that I provide.
Mhm.
But definitely, nails here is a vibe, right? It's a
Mhm.
part of a person's style. It's a part of their look. It's a part of who they are. The way that they want to be approached, the way that they want to be viewed. If they want those super
Right.
long nails, if they want that professional nail. I know for me, my clients are really interested in having a little art. A lot of my clients come to me and say, it's nothing like when I go out and someone stops me to ask me about my nails. Like they love that feeling, right? Like they love
Right.
that, being like that the center of attention in,
Right.
and I've spoken to some people who are, a little higher up. They might be in Zoom meetings and it says a really good conversation starter, right? Oh
Right.
my God, can I see your nails? Can you pull it up so I can see it? And so I think that I service such a wide range of
Mhm.
clientele. But from professionals to creatives, and so being able to find that the one thing that ties all of those women together, no matter what their backgrounds are, whether they're moms or whatever,
Mhm.
is the art of nails, right?
Right.
And what I bring to it. And so I think here in Atlanta, I've been able to really, and it's really only been like a short time. Like, yes, I did my pop-ups
Mhm.
here 5 years, but this is my second month working in
Right.
Atlanta full time. So I'm getting, of course, this whole slew of like new clientele and
Mhm.
women that I'm, creating as, long-term clients. And, they all kind of strike me as women just trying to find that sense of like, oh, I need my nails to speak for me. I want my nails make me feel so good. And then on top of that, when I go out, it's a part of that style now. It's a part of that conversation now. It's a part of kind of who I am. And that right there, I think, is what really sets me apart, especially here in Atlanta, because I'm really able to allow women to add nails into their lifestyle, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to go get my nails done. No, I'm going to go get my nails done. Like, these are my nails. And when I'm done, I know that I'm going to leave out happy. I'm going to leave out with something dope. I'm going to leave out with something fierce. And I'm going to leave out with something that's going to bring attention, and good attention too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially in, different cities like New York, Atlanta. I definitely agree. Like, the nail scene, I'm pretty sure it's booming in Atlanta. And the thing with nails, and I like doing nail art, and I had a joy of doing nail art since I was like 14 years old. And it's so cool of the possibilities and how much stuff you can do with nails. And it's a huge statement piece. Like, people show you this is a statement piece. It's not just like how you said, it's just, okay, I'm getting my nails done. It's a statement piece. Like, it's a form of expression for oneself. So yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Now, in terms of nail artists, who are like your favorite nail artists?
I would say one of my favorite nail artists so far is a nail tech out of the UK. Her name is Rebecca, Beauty Street Wisely, I think, or something like that. Beauty Spot Street, something like that. Is her name? I know Rebecca. She is an awesome nail artist, and what I like about her, she's been able to create, like, unlike me that do more like mix and match sets. She kind of takes one design and like put it across all 5 fingers, and just so unique and dope to me the way she's able to do that. It always just like, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta try that. Like, so excited. What did you like? How did you do that? Like, it's amazing. So she's, and what also I think what makes her one of my top favorites as well is that if I'm to DM Rebecca today and say, hey, what color did you use? Or what brush did you use? She's going to respond back to me, right? Like, she's not like, I know there's sometimes I'll write nail artists, I won't hear from them for months. Like, they'll respond back to me like 2-3 months. And I'm like, really, girl? Like, you could.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So whereas with Rebecca, like, when I DM her, she's intentional. She responds to me. We have conversation. And I think what makes it feels even better is that this is someone across the pond, right? Someone way across the country. And we're able to relate for that one thing, nail art. And so I think it's really, like, she's definitely, I would say, one of my top nail artists that I love to follow, that I get a lot of my inspiration from, for sure.
Yeah, like, I have like different nail artists that I follow, like yourself. Like, your work is very incredible.
Thank you.
I love how you said, like, with the 90s style is so vibrant and it's so consistent with different like colors and things like that. So it's really cool. And I'm also inspired by like the editorial nail Gracie J, and also Spifster. Spifster does very cool nail art, and her work is very like unique and very graffiti. So,
yes,
their artwork is very
Spifster is definitely a top fave. As I was sharing yesterday, I think you had asked a question about the nail style, and I was very specific in sharing Spifster and Candace. I think it was Candace, because they both have what is called a specific nail style. Like, if you see a nail done by Spifster, or it's the same kind of, like, that color scheme, that palette, that, way that, Spifster's able to like bring in those sharp color lines and bring in that black and white to make it pop. And, that's her style, right? Her art style. Because she's even been able to take that and create like shower curtains and glasses and leggings. She paints it on walls, and it's all the same. And it's just so, the way she's able to mix color and stuff just makes it so dope. I think that's what kind of differs for me. Even like when I was talking about Rebecca has like a certain nail style. She's going to do the same kind of design along all 5, all of the nails will make it super dope. Whereas for me, I think my style is a little different because I'm mixing and matching like art pieces, right? So It's like kind of funky, kind of, different, but I'm able to pull from everything. Like I can get inspiration from Spit. I can get inspiration from Candace. I don't think I'm saying the right name. I don't think her name is Candace out of LA. What's her name? I don't think it's Candace. Is it Candace? It's not Candace. It's not. It's Kanisha.
Oh, Kanisha, yeah. Kanisha is phenomenal.
Yes, and she has a specific nail style, right? Candace is not really a nail artist. Candace is a nail educator, and she does beautiful, like natural nails. She pops a little art here and there, but when you go to her page, you're going to get a clean, nice, like she does a sexy red nail. Like, I mean, I'm talking about like this. If you just want that sexy nail, I think Candace is the girl for that. But I always get her name wrong. That other one, she's the one. She has an amazing nail style. And when you see her, she's, my nails were inspired by her, where she just has like, 3 or 4 colors, but she can bring in all these shapes and pop. So, I really love nail artists that have like just different workings. And I think I even teach that too. Like I teach, when I'm teaching, I tell people all the time, like, you don't have to follow exactly what I do or this person does. Like, create your own kind of style from it, because it's going to be amazing. Like anything that you do, art is abstract. It has, nothing's perfect about it. And so that's one of the things that I kind of love about all the different nail techs that I follow and who I'm inspired by, because they all bring something to the table. It doesn't really matter, what they do or how they do it. It's just, take the moment to be inspired by what they all can do, because they're all so different. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, Kanisha Sam's, like her work is incredible. I love how she plays with a lot of earth tones and different colors and make all these patterns. So that's really, really cool. And like for me, I'm very abstract. I like playing with characters. I'm very like into like bright colors and stuff like that. And I'm also an illustrator as well, so I do that a lot. Do like different abstract lines and bright colors, characters. So like how you said, have your own unique style, and that's what makes you unique. I want to get into, in terms of owning a salon. So you've owned a salon in Delaware and you own a salon in Atlanta. So what has been your experiences owning a salon, and what tips and advice could you provide for someone who wants to own their own salon or nail studio?
So I did both sides of owning a salon, right? So, and I think I've done every way to work in a salon business. So I've been an employee in a salon. I had booth rented in a salon. I've owned my own big salon. I had a 1,600 square foot salon, and then I've now owned a nail studio. So it's across the board, doing all different things. And then of course I even did pop-ups, which not a lot of people even experience that. So I've done all sides of what it is to work in the industry in those levels. I think for me, I will admit that owning a salon might be the most stressful part of all of them. Whether it's working for someone, working as a booth renter, independent contractor, or working doing your own nail studio versus owning a salon. So I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice on owning a salon, because it's really one of the things that I loathed. Like I loathed owning a salon. I did not love that, people, it almost was this crazy expectation of, what they felt they needed when they walked in the door, from, keeping up with all of the different things. I think one thing that especially our community lacks is the lack of education when it comes to running and owning businesses in larger scales, making sure you're insured, making sure that you have different things in place, policies and things like that. I know even through my process of owning salon, I went through so many different things that kind of had to learn in the midst of it all, right? That I wish that if someone would say, "Oh, girl, you're gonna need to have this in place," like having a incident procedure in case one falls or slips or something, or that someone hurts themselves, having, things in place to protect your business. were things that I had to learn on the fly. I was always insured, like that was a big thing for me, but all the other things that came with it were definitely not things that I was knowledgeable in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have a great deal of knowledge when it comes to that. I just think I'm more biased to it because I haven't necessarily had the best experiences. So I think when I speak for someone like me, when I speak from the experience of a salon owner, it's not going to be the bells and whistles. Like, go girl, go be your own boss. It's going to be dope because it's, it's not about, I think that we, and as a community, a Black community, we do sometimes suffer from that really bad mindset, right? Where it's like, oh, you shouldn't be working for somebody. You need to work for yourself. And the truth is, we can't get too far unless we work together. Like
Right.
we could only get to this level, but if we want to get to here, we'll never be able to get there by ourselves. So I think for me, I've always had success as a singular nail technician. Even in my salon back home, I was always successful. So if we want to talk about the pros, if you have the skill to build the clientele, that will never, it doesn't matter where you are, where you go, what you do, what you have, whether you have a big old space or a little space, really are in control of your clientele, right? You really can kind of figure out which way you want to move for it. I think that's been the blessing in where I am. But I think on top of that too, on the back end, when trying to have like a large business, then you get people pulling from you from different angles where you're like, whoa, this is a lot. Like,
right.
Guys, I just want to do nails. Like, I don't want to, I don't want the pressures and the stress of doing X, Y, and Z, because then it becomes like, it just bombards you. So to answer your question, if I was to give any advice, the biggest advice I would give first is to take your time, sis. Like, take your time. It's not a race. You don't have to be, just because you have your own business doesn't make you a boss. It just makes you a person with more bills. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Take your time, be patient, and just understand that there are true levels to everything. And yes, you can jump in and do it, and you can take your time and do it. Either way, your experience is your own. But if it was for me to give to anyone, it really would be to just take your time and truly discover what it is you're trying to do before jumping straight into something without, doing that proper research. So that would probably be my best advice.
Now, in terms of nail care, like how important is nail care? And also, I want to also talk about the courses that you offer. So what nail courses do you offer, and what do nail courses entail?
So the courses that I'm offering now, or I offer a one-on-one nail art course. The one-on-one nail art course is pretty much like this in Zoom. However, I do my virtual trainings a little differently. So when I do my virtual training, I do require all of my students to purchase a phone mount, because after I show you the design, I actually require them to turn the phone over so that I can see how they're doing it and actually walk them through as if I was right there next to them. So that's one of the things that really sets me apart from people doing virtual training, because even though it's not hands-on, it's still hands-on. So I do that where, the student or the person who's interested can purchase a class from me, and they choose 3 to 4 designs, and whatever they, if we, they select it and I approve it, and then we go from there. And that's for an hour and a half, I think, of like one-on-one time. I also offer actually just did one today. That's why I was like rushing. I was running, but I did a one-on-one course. I offer one-on-one training, all-day training. So it's about a 5-hour training on whatever topic that the person's interested in. So far my one-on-ones, everyone's really trying to learn that acrylic application, which is crazy because I love that, but I have to tell people acrylic is like one of the hardest things, like the hardest nail enhancements to perfect. And I shared with a lot of people, like, even though I'm a seasoned nail tech, I still take a lot of education to better my, because even though I'm good, I want to be better. So that's another thing to consider. But I do one-on-ones. The one-on-ones could be acrylic, gel application, gel manicure, pedicure. If people want to learn how to do pedicures, I do that as well. I also offer, now this is a group class, it's not one-on-one, which is the structured gel mani class. That's actually done monthly. So every month I pick a day and it's on a Sunday, and from like 11 to 3, I do a structured gel manicure class. And it's the same thing. I have a model here. I do the service from start to finish. And then the students will flip the camera over and show me how they do it on 1 or 2 nails. And then, of course, I am actually having my 8th nail art sip and paint this month. I started the sip and paint in quarantine, where I would just go live. I go live on Instagram, and it's through a private Instagram page, and I teach nail art. Like literally, I grab tips. I tell them, you grab a drink, we listen to some music, we kind of, we enjoy each other, and we learn. And I just like go through it step by step with them. And then afterwards, I ask them to send in their progress photos. And it's a whole vibe. Like, they came up with the name of the Nail Tech Vibe Tribe. And that's kind of that. And that's how this shirt was born, to Take Your Time, Sis, because the last class, I just kept whispering, take your time, sis. And so we just, it just becomes like a whole vibe. And, we have a lot of fun in it. So it feels like an accomplishment for me to even be able to say like, oh my God, I'm on my 8th class this month. And, my goal is to try to host one every month. One Sunday a month. We go from like 6 to like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's crazy. We just like go all night. And I think my last class I sold out. I had 55 slots had sold. I've tried to only do like 50 slots per class, because it gives me that chance to like read their comments. Sometimes like, but if it's like 100 people in there, I'm like, I can't, what? No, what you say? Like 50 people, so I can kind of manage it. And we really just have a good time, just laughing. And, they, a lot of my girls, who I call my Vibe Tribe, have taken the class every time. So they've kind of been in there and they're like, oh, girl, you got to play our song. And so, it's really cool. So I have those. I think that's 5. And then I do also offer a discovery call where, if someone's looking to just have a conversation with me or pick my brain about, nail stuff, or they have questions about the business or anything like that, I do offer a discovery call. It's only $100. And after we're done, I send you like a super nice breakdown of what we talked about, and any information that you might have or anything that I said that I would send you. I try to like give you a whole situation. So a little takeaway, if you will, after the discovery call, just so you know what we talked about, and if there's any homework or anything that you specifically want to look into, I try to add those links and things like that. So anything that I do, I try to make sure that I'm like, as my assistant and everyone around, all my friends, like, you always overdo it. But for me, I just feel like, I think it's an honor to know that people are trusting me to learn from me. They're trusting me to grow from me. And, I feel like I'm holding like this precious baby, like when someone, invests in me, because yes, they're investing in themselves, but they're investing in me as well. And so with that, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta make sure I give them what it's supposed to give. You know what I mean? Like, I give what it's supposed to give. So, in giving what it's supposed to give, I give what I want. So I always make sure I come correct and I give what I'm supposed to get. Because one thing you can never say about me is I shortchanged you, or I did, I half-assed it. It's just so important for me to just make sure that if someone invests in me while investing in themselves, it makes a difference. I know what it's like to spend a large amount of money with someone and feel like you were just a number. Feel like you were just, okay, she paid, she's done. She's gone. You know what I mean? Right. And so I always try to do that extra, because I always put myself in the shoes of the consumer. You know what I mean? How do I want to be treated if I'm spending this kind of money? You know what I mean? And especially if it's investing in someone in their craft and trying to learn and grow with them, not just from them, but learn and grow with them. So those are my courses.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. Now, in terms of nail care, like how critical is nail care? What piece of advice would you give for someone who has trouble with nail care? Like how can they improve?
So nail care to me is number one. From starting to do nails in my mom's basement, like taking it seriously, taking clients. Actually, I was just telling my last student this who's doing a one-on-one she did with her mom. And the biggest thing I told her, I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not practicing. Because if you're not practicing, how can you get better? And I told her, I said, since I'm just like you starting out, you know what I mean? Call up your friends, put yourself on social media, tell people, hey, I'm doing full sets, blah, 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 for 25 hours, whatever it is to, bring in and get the practice. But even at that level, when I was just starting out, I really paid attention to the way that my clients reacted to the things that I did. So, for example, and this is how like critical nail care became for me. Mm-hmm. Back when I was doing like starting out, I think my mom took me to get my first gel manicure in 2019. Mm-hmm. No, I'm lying. Not 2019. I'm lying. I went to school. I graduated from college in 2012. She took me, I think, in 2011, 2010, 2011. Yeah, one of those. Mm-hmm. So when she did that, when I started doing nails in around 2012, when I graduated from college, I, would do gel manicures. And I remember when I would put the cotton and wrap it up in foil. Well, I remembered my clients, their nails would either like do that like warping thing, or like some of my clients, oh my God, my fingers, they're so sensitive afterwards. And like, it literally triggered in me, okay, I can't remove my gel like this anymore. I have to find another way. It's going to be healthy. It's going to take care of their nails. It's not going to leave my clients feeling uncomfortable when they leave, right? Even I know for some people, they go to the salons and they get acrylics, right? And when they leave, their fingers are sore. Like, I remember talking to somebody, it's like, oh yeah, like I know my finger's going to hurt when I'm done. I'm like, do your fingers hurt right now? It's like, no, I don't feel anything. I'm like, you're not supposed to. You know what I mean? Or, so it's nail care for me is critical. And so to answer your question, the best advice I can give to anyone is to really take in what your clients do, like giving you. Like if you're read from your clients, learn from your clients, because that's how you're going to better service them, right? Like if you're like, for example, I know biggest takeaway for me, and I'm an open book. This week I was doing my clients. I have 2 clients, and I did their manicures, and both of them are like, my cuticles, my cuticles on fire. So now I'm like, okay, I know that when I'm doing cuticles now, I'm going to be more my thought process is, okay, I don't want to, am I going too far back? Am I nipping too close to the live skin? What am I doing? Because I don't want my clients' nails to be sore. You see what I'm saying? I don't want that feeling. Like I know in some cases they will have that agitation with that pushback and cleaning up of the cuticle. And truth be told, a lot of these clients, like both of them, didn't come to me for 5+ weeks. So when you wait that long and then we kind of go into those cuticles and agitate, of course it's going to be a little sore. So I'm understanding of that. But on my end, as a technician, I still am like, yeah, but there has to be a way that maybe if I take my time a little bit more, or maybe if I do more pushing before nipping, or maybe if I nip more, you know what I mean? There has to be another way that I could do it that may not leave them so sore. And so those are the things that I think about all the time. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. If I'm talking to, a potential student or someone who's trying to learn, definitely take the time to see the cues that your clients are giving you. If you're filing and they're yanking their fingers away, okay, you're slicing their skin. If you're pushing back and they're like, you can feel them moving. You know what I mean? So that's how, you develop that. Okay, how do I care for my clients' nails as I'm servicing them? And that's how you do it. And so nail care is a range of not just your application, but how you're treating your clients, how they feel, how their nails feel, their hands feel while they're in your possession. And so that's how I see nail care the most. And then, of course, the healthy side of nails. That part is above everything for me. I would never do nail art on unhealthy nails. even when I'm applying an application of whether it's tips or gel, the biggest thing, my biggest takeaway, I'm like, oh, I don't know if we need to do any art today. We need to focus on bringing these nails back to health. And that's my biggest thing. And, so that for me is number one. And once you go there, then everything else will flow. You know what I mean? We see as people, nail techs are coming up, their foundation is crazy. They don't care nothing about that, but they can bling that John out. You be like, oh, okay, you're sparkling, but them nails messed up. Like you tore them nails down. You know what I mean? Right now in quarantine with, the pandemic and I call it a panorama or panda. You'll hear me kind of say all different things. But in this panorama, people are doing the press-ons. And I'm like, okay, but every time you glue that on and you yank them off to put on a new set, you are tearing that nail up. So, going back to nail care and, just always feeling the need to educate clients too, because, most of our first experiences getting our nails done are from our neighborhood salons.
Right.
So learning about nail care, learning about different nail enhancements, learning about things that, are being done to our nails, cuticle care, things like that, at home care, because clients don't realize, like, no, you are responsible to exfoliate your hands and, keep your cuticles nourished and things like that. People, you know what I mean? Those are things that are very important that people we don't learn that. Like, your neighborhood salon, going in, you getting your nails and you leave. And however you got them done, is how you left, and it's fine. And so, because we lack that, for us new nail technicians that are coming out, nail technicians like myself, Candace, that are big on healthy nails, trying to, build that rapport of, great foundation, we are the anomaly. We're the new, right? And so now we have to educate our clients and educate those that want to learn from us how to service your clients better while giving them healthy nails, giving them beautiful nails, and the cherry on top, creating that nail style, right? So it's all kind of flows in together. And that's, but for me, the core of it will always be healthy nails and nail care.
Right. That's very well said. I definitely agree wholeheartedly, because I think nail care is the most critical thing, especially skincare too. How you treat the nails, like it can develop like a nail disease or a fungus if you don't treat it well. And there's a saying that I've heard is like, treat your nails like jewels, not tools. So I definitely agree that, with a lot of us as nail artists, that's something that we have to really work on and really be aware about, and especially with taking out a application, whether it's gel or acrylic, that makes a difference in terms of, the care of the nails, like, because that can cause damage if you don't remove it properly. So that's the thing. So I really, really agree with a lot of points that you said, because I think it's something to really consider and have to consider.
Right. Absolutely.